Welcome to It's On Halifax with your hosts, Mark Adam and Pat King. It's On Halifax is brought to you by A2 Canada and Oasis on Spring Garden Road.
Welcome to another episode of It's On Halifax. I am one of your hosts, Mark Adam. You can find me on Twitter, MarkAdamHFX.
And I am your other host, Pat King. You can find me at PatKingHFX on Twitter.
It is January 27th. It's Sunday. It is the Sunday between football Sundays.
Oh, it's the Pro Bowl, too, isn't it?
Yeah, because people watch
like,
that.
Meh.
Give me a break.
Wah, wah.
Exactly. Nobody watches the fucking Pro Bowl. Mostly, my biggest problem with the Pro Bowl is that it's between between the final and the Super Bowl, like the conference finals.
Why is that a problem?
Well, because the best players are clearly going to be in the Super Bowl, so they're not going to be in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
You know what I mean? They're going to be prepping for a real game.
Yeah, they're not going to be out there kicking their own asses.
Yeah, so you don't get to see the Ray Lewis who apparently kills people and gets away with it. And
wait, I'm sorry. What was that?
Ray Lewis was part of a murder investigation, and his friends all fell on the sword, so he wouldn't go to jail.
Well, that is an interesting piece of trivia that I didn't know.
Common knowledge. He also did a lot of things in his life that are. He's got like a whole bunch of kids that are like that he just doesn't acknowledge, and XFL.
Oh yeah, that's arena football. Woo.
No, arena football is arena football. The XFL was that thing that the wrestler guy.
Yeah, Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Where they just got like high school janitors and WWF football. No, WWE. We don't want to get sued by the World Wildlife Foundation. Come on now. Keep up, Fat Apollo.
Yeah, they can be vicious.
Yeah, Fat Apollo's tweeting us. You can do so too. You can either do it right through our Ustream page.
Yep.
Or just tweet us at It's On Halifax. Use the hashtag IOHPC. That works as well. We'll answer anything while we go.
Yeah.
So Fat Apollo is joining us through Twitter. So thank you. They had apparently the XFL had a cheerleader changing room cam.
How did I not know that?
I didn't know that, and I watched the XFL. I thought it was a neat idea. It was practical, not so much, but neat idea. The concept was cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
and that's where they sell. It's Vince McMahon. I watched every game. Now we know why.
Yeah, for the cheerleader cam. There's football too. Bonus. I like the XFL. There were some crazy hits that came out of that league and some pretty cool highlights. And I think Tommy Maddox was the only player to come out of that league.
Yeah, and I think. It was kind of pushing football towards. I think this was before they called wrestling sports entertainment, and I think that's what they were trying to do with like football, like glamorize it.
But football didn't need glamorizing. The NFL was already huge.
No, I know.
Like college ball and high school ball was a way of life in the States. This was a way of. He hate me on the jersey. I don't know what that means. He'll explain, I'm sure. Yes. But the XFL was kind of a way of like bridging the gap of guys who couldn't quite make the NFL or had gotten hurt and lost their chance or whatever, that were regular guys that just wanted to play football. I like the concept. I like the idea. I don't think that Vince McMahon was the right guy.
No.
Unfortunately.
Vince McMahon is a ruthless business person.
And when when they interviewed coaches and stuff, they would do it like they were interviewing jobber wrestlers. Like, just, this coach said this about you. What do you think about that? It's like, it's, what? The game just ended. I shook his hand. Everything's okay. You're being the douche. You're the interviewer. You're the guy being the douche.
Yeah, they're trying to hype it up. Like,
yeah, they're trying to make
wrestling match.
Yeah, like villains. There's no...
Yeah.
There are no
that's
villains.
What I'm saying. Sports entertainment. They were trying to give it some kind of... They were trying to give it kayfabe is what they were doing. The whole wrestling storylines and personas and things. The whole fiction of wrestling.
Yeah, just that part of it didn't work. I like the concept of the XFL in the league side of it. Like, guys that were good, that just didn't get a chance in the NFL, that weren't quite NFL caliber, had a it was like a B League kind of thing. There is no. When you don't make the NFL, you got nowhere to go.
And a race for the ball instead of a kickoff. Yeah, that was a little different.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird shit going on in there. I remember the cameraman fainting before he finally had his chance to get in. Max Bettman, welcome to the conversation, sir.
But we've got some real football right around the corner, and you
Super Bowl Sunday.
You could have your chance to head down to New Orleans for the Super Bowl.
We are giving away 2 packs of 4 tickets. So we here at It's On this week will be making you do stuff. Bon Jovi owns an arena football team. Man, I feel like Fat Apollo is just going to be giving us random trivia all day.
I love it.
It's fantastic.
And we've got so much trivia for the this day in history.
Why don't we do that now?
There's a whole sheet of them here.
Yeah. Well, no, I went through some, like, January 27th for some reason had a lot of shit going on. Okay? We're going to go through some of the things. And I left this one in. It's not a huge deal, but it is to me. I'm a huge Captain Morgan fan. I drink that rum like it's going out of style.
You do.
This day, 1671, pirate Henry Morgan lands at Panama City. He hits North America, essentially, is what happened. That's big to me.
Well, how long after did the rum start?
Well, he had the rum on the ship, so probably that day. I don't know.
It's this day in history.
Rum!
Adam's favorite drink hit the shores of North America.
But it's funny because now it's a Canadian Caribbean mixture.
Huh.
Anyway, 1870, Manitoba and the Northwest Territories incorporated because they weren't part of the original Confederation of Canada, right?
And it's funny, whenever I go through all the provinces of Canada, oftentimes just forget Manitoba. I'm sorry, Manitoba.
But it's easy to remember the prairie provinces. Alsama.
No.
Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. There's four provinces before you hit Ontario.
Right, I know. I can name all of the provinces. I'm just saying, if I was going to forget any of them, it's probably Manitoba.
Yeah, I guess. Because, I mean, what's in Manitoba?
Prairie.
Yeah, but, like, think of Winnipeg.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, yeah, just ran out of stuff. Because, I mean, in Saskatchewan, you got, well, Saskatoon. You have Regina, the city that rhymes with fun. What else have we got?
I've only ever been in Lloydminster, so which is a city that falls right on the border between Alberta and Saskatchewan. So when you're driving from one end of the city to the other, you're just crossing the provincial line. It's great. Yeah,
I love those prairies. Yeah. I guess all the fun's happening in Alberta, isn't it?
Eskimo Museum in Churchill.
Churchill, Manitoba? Oh, that's right.
Eskimo Museum.
Yeah.
Aren't they supposed to be called Inuit?
Wait, are they?
Oh.
The Mint?
Oh,
yeah.
That's a funny one. 1880, Thomas Edison patents the electric incandescent lamp. Oh, the Mint is in Manitoba?
Yep.
I did not know that.
I told you, he's going to be great for having, like, facts go on all day.
Yeah, man.
During the show. Thank you, Fat Apollo,
You are
for
the
joining
internet.
us. You are the internet. Hey, wait, be honest. Do you know these things, or are you Googling them as we go? Because we can't see them, so...
That's true.
I mean,
I don't know. I think
Googling
he's just a wealth of knowledge, I think.
Well, yeah, there's... No. He knows.
He knows.
He just knows.
Told you.
He's like Bo Jackson. Bo knows.
Bo knows.
Fat Apollo knows. It just doesn't have that ring to it.
Yeah, but the Thomas Edison thing only interests me because I met up with an old friend of mine from high school at Noble last week, the secret bar that we talked about.
Yes, we bumped into him.
And he was an engineer who helped put the place together, and he pointed out that the light bulbs were old Edison-style incandescent bulbs that sucked a bunch of power, but had essentially it's the closest you're going to get to candlelight, but still using electricity. They were really, really fancy-looking bulbs, and he said there was only one place that continues to manufacture them somewhere in Texas, and I thought it was really cool.
Fat Apollo just said, my parents bought an encyclopedia volume each week at IGA, which, by the way, is where you want to buy all of your knowledge-based material, and he read them all.
I've never heard of it. What is IGA?
IGA? The grocery store?
It doesn't exist anymore.
Oh.
No, it doesn't.
Before my time.
It used to be a big grocery chain.
I see.
Yes. Yeah.
International Grocers Association.
Huh. Well, isn't that interesting?
Independent Grocers Association.
Oh, yeah. Not international.
Independent, yeah.
I beat you to it, Fat Apollo. I know stuff, too. I know stuff.
I'm learning.
You ask the questions. Me and Fat Apollo, between us, we have apparently a trivia team.
We should make that happen someday.
Yeah, we should go somewhere and just rape the trivia prizes.
I also have, in Manitoba, Canada's first F5 scale tornado happened.
Really?
Which is the biggest tornado.
Yeah, that is the largest rating. Really?
Yeah.
Saskatchewan?
No,
Manitoba. Doesn't surprise me.
So what that means is, at the end of the day, while that was a big thing, there's probably less there now.
Yeah. There's less there than when they started.
Yeah, that's a great claim to fame. Do you remember that it took a bunch of things from you? 1894, first college basketball game ever. The University of Chicago beats Chicago YMCA, which apparently was a university. They beat them 19-11. That was the first college basketball game. The F5 went through the mint, and the Flying Pennies killed 30. That's why they're banned. Wait, are pennies? Flying pennies banned, or pennies in general?
Pennies.
No, they just took them out of circulation.
Pennies are killers.
Which is about fucking time. The Canadian, they cost more to make than they're worth, and they waste more time.
Yeah, and the copper could be put to way better use.
Oh, there's a video online that you can find that's like why pennies need to go away.
Yeah, and well, it's good that they are going away. I don't think I've accepted a penny from a clerk or anything for a year or more.
Yep, exactly. 1918, Tarzan of the Apes, the first Tarzan movie, premieres at Broadway Theater.
1918. Wow, that must have been a good one.
Tarzan of the Apes. I think we should download it and watch it on this TV.
Sure.
I think it would look fucking hilarious.
I love watching old movies like that. Have you ever seen Nosferatu?
No.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
No, I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never watched
the whole thing.
movie.
It's fantastic. Especially there's a version where somebody does the soundtrack with a heavy metal album as opposed to the original orchestral soundtrack, and it's very, very good.
I just love that it was shot so long ago that they couldn't shoot at night. So the scenes that are supposed to be at night are clearly in the daytime, and it just like really throws everything off.
Yeah, it's not even day for night.
Well, they didn't understand.
There was no color. There was.
They didn't understand like lighting. There was the science behind it hadn't.
And the cameras weren't good enough to be able to film during dark.
Oh, you have the U.S. Netflix, don't you, Adam?
I can have the U.S. Netflix. I can.
Doesn't take much.
Flip the old computer over. So it's not hard to do, but you lose a little bit of quality because it has to filter it all through a proxy server, so you don't get it won't stream in HD.
But if you're watching something like Nosferatu, then it doesn't
does it matter if it's HD? Also, 1926, first public demonstration of television. John L. Baird in London.
And it's been getting better ever since.
I'm telling you, TV, thank God it exists. Because not only is it like mind numbing when you're like, I'm tired, I just want to go home and chill and then go to bed. It's great for like turning your brain off, but on top of that, streaming live media, press conferences, news, the world is so much more connected as a result of television. Now, because television is becoming such a box, everybody's going to the internet because you can stream all that same stuff, and Netflix is now launching its own like Netflix original material.
Oh yeah, well they've already been doing it. They released Lilyhammer, which was about a gangster who goes to Sweden to hide out.
Yeah, but they're doing a series now. Did you know that?
Yeah, that was a series. And
really?
Yeah, and they're doing Arrested Development. They're bringing it back on their dime.
But I thought Arrested Development was got bought back by the network.
No. Netflix paid for the episodes that they're developing right now.
Watch Shadow of the Vampire with Defoe and Malkovich about making of Nosferatu.
I think I have seen that, actually.
I haven't. I haven't seen Nosferatu. I'll have to do that.
Well, yeah, they're both outstanding. Very good films. And it was like the original German Impressionist cinema. It's right on the heels of stuff like the Battleship Potemkin and things like that. Right, it's so classy.
We just got retweeted by Halifax tweeters. Going live in just a minute. Didn't we post that like a half an hour ago?
Yeah, well, I mean, they got a lot of tweets to go through.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, as far as television goes, I wanted to mention a show that I started watching last night, too, called King of the Nerds. Hear about the show yet?
No.
Well,
it sounds familiar.
It gave me a modicum... It restored a modicum of faith for me in television again, especially reality television. It's a reality TV show where they get a bunch of nerds together, put them in a gigantic mansion they call Nerdvana, and pit them against each other in contests and things like that. It's a reality TV show. It's like Big Brother with nerds. The first contest...
I thought that was called Know It All.
Well, no, but this one, the first contest they had, I thought it was going to be really exploitative or, they'd get a lot of laughs from the nerds or whatever, but it's so good. Like, it's for nerds, by nerds. The first contest to kick somebody off the show was a giant chess game.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the second one was a trivia contest about fantasy realms where you had to take a giant 20-sided die and roll it down a hill to knock down gnomes and knights and things like that. And then somebody got kicked off the show, and then they did a cosplay contest, and it
sounds interesting. I think I would watch an hour of that. I don't think I would watch an entire series of that.
I don't know. Well, you fall in love with the characters, with the nerds. I mean, they're really interesting people, and they're the kind of people that I would hang out with.
They'd be relatable, right?
Well, exactly.
Halifax tweeters retweeted that 2 ships collided in the harbor and one of them is on fire. Stop train.
Stop train.
When was that, today?
Imagine if they had Twitter back then. I don't think that many people would have died. It's like Morse code. No.
Yeah.
Tweet
call the guy.
hashtag GTFO.
Yeah. Could you stop the train? Cool.
Peace.
Done. Yeah. What else happened this day in history? 1927. Harlem Globetrotters played their first game.
Have you ever seen the Harlem Globetrotters?
What?
Have you ever seen the Harlem Globetrotters play?
Not live.
I saw them when I was a kid in Sydney. I got a signed copy of a photo of Sweet Lou Dunbar. It was very entertaining, I have to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have met them.
Yeah.
I'm not a big basketball fan, but that's more of a...
Oh, it's a performance art piece. It's acrobatics. It's so impressive.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see, what else? 1944. Leningrad liberated from Germany after 880 days with 600,000 killed. That was 1944. This day, Leningrad was liberated.
A lot of good movies came into that.
Yeah. The very next year, same day, January 27th, Russia liberates Auschwitz and Birkenau concentration camp.
Yeah, those Russians, they're hard to keep down.
Yeah. Give them a fifth of vodka and a pair of winter boots. Give them, they'll go nuts.
Yeah. A gun with no bullets, they'll find a way.
5 bullets, hello. But the other guy carries them.
Yeah.
1948. First tape recorder sold in 1948. That's kind of huge.
First tape recorder?
Yeah.
I'd say.
Considering how big the recording industry is and how technology has progressed and stuff, that was probably a really big deal. Tapes were around for a long time.
Well, it's just another way to record human history, right?
Agreed. What else? 1967. There was a bunch of things happened in 1967. The Beatles signed a 9-year worldwide contract with EMI Records. That was this day in 1967. The New Orleans Saints signed their first player. What else? Treaty banning military use of nuclear weapons in space was signed. So you can't put nuclear weapons in space.
Yeah, they wanted to detonate them in the atmosphere to see how that would turn out. Spoiler alert, wouldn't end well.
Yeah, wouldn't that like...
Don't have to be a scientist.
Wouldn't the world stop doing stuff?
No, but we thought we were having problems with the ozone layer before.
Yeah, and that's from aerosol fucking cans. Come on now.
Vaporize a majority of it. That's fine.
And... Hi, Fat Apollo. Thanks for tuning in. 1967, Apollo 1. The fire on Apollo 1 kills astronauts Grissom, White, and Chaffee.
Yeah, which... Yeah, that was... Space travel was just so new at that point that it really... I think it put people off of space travel at that point to watch a shuttle on live television just explode.
It's still pretty new. We really don't know that much about space.
That's true. I have been following Commander Hadfield, though. The Canadian up there.
Oh, man. IOHPC hashtag Danny Baldwin from Halifax Vintage is over here.
What up, Danny?
I love that his other Twitter handle is Danny Baldwink.
I didn't even notice that. Oh, he so graciously connected us
to a Wikipedia article
on Rod Smart. Go to that arcade.
Yeah, no, Fat Apollo's tweeting us, and so is Danny Baldwin from Halifax Vintage. Fat Apollo is agreeing with everything they say. Dropping nukes from space allowed for far heavier and faster warheads.
That's true.
You'd think.
Well, there was an experimental idea that they had at one point about a satellite that had these massive tungsten rods that looked like massive crossbow bolts, and you fire them from space. It's like essentially a rail gun, and it had almost the impact of a warhead.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I know.
Remember
right?
the Star Wars program?
Yep.
And how that was supposed to be a thing?
Eh.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
But now that Danny's here, it reminds me I have to go over to the arcade. They just got a new Metal Slug machine. Love that game.
Oh, yes, and I have to go play Rampage.
Yes, although I think
there's no sound.
Well, no, the monitor gave out recently.
No!
Oh, he'll have it fixed in no
Danny,
time.
you're listening. I know you are. Fix Rampage, or I will go on one.
Oh.
Oh, see what I did there?
Idiot.
Yeah, I know. That's fine. 1984. Here's a bit of funny trivia. I'm a Michael Jackson fan, so I'm not making fun of him in any way. But there was that time that he was filming a Pepsi commercial and his hair lit on fire. Michael Jackson's hair lit on fire. Anybody remember that? Is it just me? No?
I had to ask why that was news.
For
an arcade that uses candy because people would eat the tokens.
I think your daughter should talk to Danny's niece, Mr. Fat Apollo.
So how did he almost die? I mean, I've seen people get their hair lit on fire. Generally, it doesn't end well, but it's also not generally life-threatening.
Well, there's a lot of grease in that man's hair.
Yeah, a lot of product.
Yeah.
Probably went up like the Hindenburg.
Yeah. Well, back in that day, everybody wore... He had a lot of product.
Yeah. Confirmed.
I love that word for word he's tweeting what I'm saying after I say it. But he probably sent it
the second you said it.
Yeah, because there's a delay on the video, I'm sure. Yeah, good times. What else have we got? 1996. Now we're jumping. We're getting closer. Germany celebrates its first Holocaust Remembrance Day in 1996.
That's surprised it took them that long. It's kind of a jerk move, Germany.
Yeah. That's 51 years after the Auschwitz liberation.
Wow.
51 years.
So by the time they had a Remembrance Day for it, most of the people who lived through it had died. Yeah. I wouldn't want to remember that either.
Yeah, it took a long time for public acknowledgement and this and that, and there's some politics behind the whole thing. Clearly,
yeah, I imagine.
As if every world problem doesn't have massive amounts of frickin' politics behind it, right? So that said, the last thing I have on my list is that 3 years ago, on this day, Steve Jobs, CEO of Apple, unveiled a new invention, a tablet PC called the iPad. That was 3 years ago today, people. So we did that at the press conference like he normally does.
Seems longer. They've gone through so many iterations of the iPad already.
Well, they're on the new iPad. They've had one a year.
Oh.
Same with the iPhone. They've had one a year.
And pretty well their operating system.
Yeah. Their operating system has changed more frequently than that.
Which is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, it's updated. It looks a lot like pretty much like it always did.
Yeah.
But how it functions and some added features and blah, blah, blah.
But people wonder why independent developers can't keep up. You know, why aren't there any games for Mac? It's just because they don't
do backwards compatibility. That's the problem.
The Mac OS changes so drastically that it almost makes it impossible.
The Mac OS is different than the iOS. They're two very different things. But they don't believe in the keeping backwards compatibility because it loses performance and makes your program bulkier. I agree with that philosophy. Windows doesn't do that. They just build on top of whatever was there before. Mangy stray that meows all night.
Next is iOS 2.0. Next is iOS 20, mangy stray cat that meows all night, because they are running out of cats.
You should Google search OS X OS 10 Maru, Maru. It's adorable.
What is a Maru? Oh, that's so
adorable.
Cute.
Isn't that adorable? That's adorable. It's clearly it's not a real thing, but it's funny.
It's pretty well what they're going for next.
Yeah.
I mean, they're running out of the big cats, like the fierce ones.
Well, eventually they have to launch OS 11. Eventually.
Yeah.
Right? It's a thing that will eventually happen, but they've been they don't believe that the next version of something should just be another number when it's basically the same thing. That's why like all OS X programs, OS 10, all those programs are compatible.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They don't support OS 9.
Right. What were OS 9 called?
They were all birds.
Oh, that makes sense. So they're going to move to a new animal next. Cute.
Yeah, well, another family. Yeah, it'll be all like dogs. It'll be OS 11 coyote or whatever. And then, whatever.
Dingo.
A dingo ate my baby. The lion.
No, Adam.
The lion eating the dingo. They don't even live on the same continent. Good times. Yeah, so that's the list I had for this day in history. If you guys have any others, send them in.
Yeah,
because they're always fun.
Mark it on the calendar if you want to make history. Maybe January 27th is a good day. You'll be in good company.
Today in history, 2013 was the first It's on Halifax segment of this day in history.
Tenuous, I know, but
it's also the first time that I mentioned that it was the first time, and it's the first time I meant it gets stupid meta after that.
You know, if you take a deck of cards and you shuffle them 3 times, it's more likely than not that it is the first time ever that deck of cards has been in that order. That any deck of cards has been in that order. Have you ever seen the actual number of how many possible combinations of playing cards there are in a standard 52 card deck?
No.
It's incredible.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah, it's very cool though.
Huh. Interesting. I will look that up because I'm one of those kind of people.
Nerd.
No, I'm a geek.
Oh.
I don't know.
I still haven't figured out
as far
the
as I'm
difference.
concerned,
52 times 51 times 50, and so on and so forth. All until the end.
Gross. That is a big number.
It's a very big number.
I can tell without even doing the math that
Yeah.
that's a very big number.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah. There's a few permutations.
Yeah.
What was I about to say?
Mm-mm.
I said something.
I don't know why you're asking me.
I just said something.
You got the itis from that breakfast, didn't you?
Oh man,
you
it's
haven't
killing
you
me.
haven't been quick since.
Yeah, we made breakfast this morning, folks, because we're shooting so early. Recording so early.
That was the number.
Yeah, there is a camera. Holy balls! How many digits is that? 53?
I told you it was a big number. Yep. So for all those card players out there, I'm sure Danny already knows that. Danny's a bit of a poker buff.
Poker aficionado?
See?
Si, senor. Yeah, still, fix this stupid Rampage machine, please, Danny. I want to play it.
Don't be mean.
I want to play it!
Alright, so what are we going to do to give away these tickets later?
Oh, yeah. When we come back from our break, which we're going to take very shortly, as in the next couple seconds, we're going to tell you what you can do this week to win a pack of 4 tickets to Oasis Bud Bowl, which will include the Bud Light Girls, free tailgate buffet, comes with a free drink, chances at door prizes and stuff like that. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff going on, games and fun, and we'll tell you how you can win that when we get back from our break. So we'll see you after the break.
You want your special day to be just right, right? Well, so did I. I called A2 Canada, and all the little details took care of themselves. An audio-video setup, photographer, and even a videographer, all working as a team to capture the memories I cared about. Oh, and I saved a bundle by getting them all in the same place. You should try it.
A2 Canada. Professionalism you can count on.
Oasis, epic sports pub, where you don't have to spend a lot to get a lot.
We need one from Fat Apollo.
Yes. We do need one from Fat Apollo.
Hey, what are we doing to give away these tickets?
Oh, yeah, I just asked you that.
I know, that's why I didn't want to do it on air. Even though they can hear us. Okay. So? I say we say whoever finds us the best, why is that a thing?
That's a good one.
Topic for next week's show. The top 2 get pack of 4.
Why don't we just do it for this week's show?
Because we don't know who's watching live. We're recording early, remember? So we say, this week we're going to put it up on the Facebook page, and she'll post it as we say it. The top 2 options for why is that a thing next that you give us. Not only will we use them next week, but you also will win. We'll decide Friday.
Friday's
We'll give
good.
it till Friday.
Right on.
We'll decide Friday who wins 2 packs of 4 tickets to the Mardi Gras themed.
Sold.
Yeah. Yeah, Roy.
Woo woo.
So good. It's a lot more fun with audience interaction.
I agree.
Even though our last couple episodes have been actually pretty fucking solid regardless.
By Friday?
It's like we're getting good at this. By Friday, yes. Friday at noon we will select. So let people know.
So say, send us your best Why Is That a Thing by Friday at noon to win tickets to Oasis's Bud Bowl next Sunday.
Yeah, Mardi Gras themed Bud Bowl. Yeah, don't click send just yet.
I know. Just have it typed.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you really, or are you just saying that? Look at this. Facebook Messenger,
That's a lot of tweeting.
Twitter.
And we are back, everybody. Thank you for joining us on It's on Halifax. We've got a couple of people joining us here via our Twitter and Ustream pages. Fat Apollo, as well as Danny Baldwin from Halifax Vintage Arcades. We've been having a lovely time, and we are just about to outline how you can win 2 packs of 4 tickets each to next week's Bud Bowl celebration at the Oasis. So get 4 of your football-loving friends together, or fun-loving friends. They don't even really have to like football, because
But they
there's gonna
should,
be, well,
'cause-
they should, because it's kind of a big deal.
But even if they don't, $10 pitchers of Bud and Bud Light, which is, by the way, the all-day, everyday price.
Bud Light
The
Girls.
Bud Light Girls. It's Mardi Gras themed. They're gonna have T-shirts and hats to give away. Door prizes. There's gonna be the tailgate buffet from 4:30 to 6, I think.
Nice.
Or is it 4 to 5:30? I can't remember. It's on the ticket.
So if you bring beads, are people going to be getting kicked out? Do you think it's going to be a savage one?
I don't know. We're gonna try and keep the flashing to a minimum. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying that we're not going to encourage it.
Yeah. But it's Mardi Gras themed. You're just looking for trouble.
Well,
Have you ever seen Mardi
the
Gras?
Super Bowl is in New Orleans this year, so as a result,
Yeah, but it's... I will win the most beads. Yeah.
Fat Apollo is confident that he will win all's the beads.
I've got a fistful with your name on it.
Oh, a fistful of what? Don't
Beads.
make this action and say I have a fistful.
Rare.
That's not okay. I need an adult. Let's scroll down the Facebook page and get to this week's Why Is That a Thing? Right. Yes. So, did we explain yet how to win?
We did not.
Oh, we should probably do that.
Yeah. That was your segue, and you just totally fucked
Listen,
it.
hey, by the way, shut the fuck up. Yes, how to win these packs is send us on Facebook or on Twitter a link or picture or whatever, the best Why Is That a Thing segment.
Yeah, just something that baffles you. Something
Like-
that has no reason to exist.
Yes, you send us the best Why Is That a Thing. We'll pick the best 2. Not only will we use those 2 on next week's episode, but you will also win a 4-pack of tickets to the Mardi Gras themed Bud Bowl at Oasis next Sunday. So, just in case you don't win today's big prize, which is a trip for 2 to the Super Bowl, just in case you don't win that, and I'm saying that to Danny Baldwin, just in case, you should definitely go to the Bud Bowl, watch the Super Bowl at Oasis next Sunday.
And get a little slice of that New Orleans flavor.
Hex yes.
I hope... are they going to have, like, crawdads and stuff at the tailgate buffet?
No, it's going to be typical tailgate stuff like chili and hot dogs.
Chili.
Chili, yeah, like basically you can make chili cheese dogs, and there'll be, I'm not sure if there'll be a pasta option. No, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff in the buffet.
You said you had me at chili cheese dogs. I'm good.
Yeah, that's fair. I knew I kind of had you there. So this week's Why Is That a Thing is from, again, actually Fat Apollo tweeted this earlier in the week, and I stole it. So thank you.
I read this on the news myself. I get a lot of free time at work to read the news, so a lot of these stories I come across. Right ahead. It's, well, for starters, it's fucking awful.
Yep.
But this was in Moline Acres, Montana. Is that M.O. is Montana, right?
No, Missouri, I think.
Missouri? Oh. Well, yeah,
Fat
you're
Apollo
right.
will tell us in 2 seconds.
A North St. Louis County mother. So it was just outside St. Louis. Claims that her 13-year-old daughter is being harassed because of her breast size and was floored by the response she got after calling the school district. And get this, the school district advised this 13-year-old girl's mother who's in the 6th grade that instead of having to deal with bullying, she should just get breast reduction surgery.
That was the school's answer to this girl being bullied.
Yes. Yeah.
Basically, she popped early, but the response that she got from the school was, that it's God's fault that he made her this way, and that so she'll always be teased. The only suggestion was to have breast reduction surgery for your 13-year-old 6th grade daughter.
Yeah, the lady on the phone said that they could transfer my daughter and said that her boobs were so large that she will always get teased. You're creating a culture at that point, a culture of bullying that you're perpetuating. It's not a negative thing. No, and these people are educating children. That hurts me inside.
It's an extension of the problem that's going on in the States with bullying. There's a big focus right now on cyberbullying, but bullying in general is a prominent issue, I'd say everywhere, but probably more so in the States than other places.
Absolutely.
And between childhood obesity being at record numbers and kids just having no proper parenting, or I don't know what the deal is, but I don't know if it's because the kids don't get spanked anymore. Is that what it is?
I don't remember kids being this awful when I was...
I know, and we get spanked, and it's oh, you can't do that because I'll be fucked up forever.
Yeah, if I said anything that a lot of kids say today, I would...
My dad would have beat the shit out of me if I said some of the things these kids said, or did some of the things that these kids did. And you know what? I would have fucking deserved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I would have had it coming.
I grew up. I skipped a grade, and I was the nerdy kid. I got picked on, but nothing near this. The things that I hear in the news, it makes me feel really bad for a lot of kids these days growing up in schools like this. And you've got one argument on the one hand. You've got schools down in the U.S. trying to teach creationism in schools and living by the Bible and yada yada, and then on the other hand, you hear all of this, and you don't how much of that is overlapping? It's just two completely opposite dichotomies existing at once. It's just one living hypocrisy. It's I don't know. It breaks my brain sometimes.
Yeah, and everybody hides in the States, especially. People hide behind religion, either to do something awful or as the reason you shouldn't do something awful. But there are non-religious reasons why everything that's going on in the States is awful.
Well, yeah, it's...
Just don't be a fucking asshole.
Yeah, there's...
Don't be an asshole. Thank you, Emily. Don't be a fucking asshole. That's what Emily said. I don't know if you can hear it.
Words
that's
to live by.
Humanity.
Words to live by.
Be a human being. I just posted the winner on your Facebook page. We're going to have to go have ourselves a look at that.
I got to see this.
Person is teaching a class on how to take food photos using your iPhone. What?
Still life iPhoneography. So food-based still lifes with your iPhone.
So that you can Instagram your
food.
Every meal you have?
Yeah. People like to do that. I'm not going to pretend I haven't done it on more than one occasion.
All right, anyway, we shouldn't be bringing these up today. We're going to save these for the week, see what happens, see how they pile up.
Well,
that's a good one though.
We'll leave it to some of the fans as well, see how many likes you get on the page.
Yeah, we'll let people vote by likes and all that stuff. So
back to this week's.
Yeah, back to this week's.
I don't even want to talk about that anymore. It's just, it kills me.
It's just awful. The superintendent of the school district called this lady after this whole thing came out and says they're working on a plan to resolve issues for both of the children that she has who are both being bullied.
I like that. Their only response is, well, we're trying to counsel some of the kids at school about the bullying issue. And as far as the surgery thing goes, we're still kind of out on that. Like, you didn't do anything fucking wrong.
I love stuff. People are stupid. You know what? I work in the service industry, and I hate people.
No, well, I mean, I read the news, and I was reading the news a couple of days ago, and I was having a conversation with someone, and I summed it up in the phrase, every day I find a new reason to hate people. Someone somewhere does something just so fucking awful that you lose some faith in humanity. But having a reason to hate people doesn't mean hating people. I still stay on the sunny side as much as humanly possible. Yeah, being tough at school, I think, would, as Fat Apollo said here, would be such a huge benefit to kids, because we have kind of ingrained this culture of it's gone past individuality and into entitlement, egoism even, a 9-year-old kid or an 11-year-old kid who can complain because he got an iPhone 3 instead of an iPhone 4 or something. It's just, you deserve to get slapped in the face, kid. It's And coming from someone who's boxed and who's been punched in the face repeatedly, it's character building. It really is.
I agree. I also boxed for a while, and I mean, a little bit of pain, getting knocked around. It's character building. If you've never had a big brother, I had a big brother. Again, knocked around. Character building. Yeah. I had a little sister. She is so full of character now. I'm an awful person. Anyway. I hope my mom's not listening this week.
Oh, she knows. Don't pretend your mother is naive.
Yeah, don't pretend moms don't know shit.
Compulsory military service. That's a little far for me.
I don't know. I think if you make it a minimum of like 2 years or something, they once you hit a certain age, you have to do military for a couple of years. I don't have a problem with that.
I don't believe in that. Not at all. No.
I don't have a problem with that.
I
do have a problem with that being a punishment.
Yeah.
Like sending kids to military school when they act out.
Yeah, my kid's a dick, so I'm going to send him to military school. That'll straighten him out.
Teach him how to kill people.
Yeah. No, he comes back fucked up
idea.
and knows how to use a gun now. Perfect. You're smart.
No, I think military service should always be voluntary. If you don't believe in war, if you don't believe in the reasons that politicians are starting wars or anything like that, I mean, peacekeeping service, that kind of thing. And some people just, they want to be in the military. That's fantastic. I've always wanted to do boot camp just to see how the other side lives, because I've done combat sports and things like that. But I don't believe in I mean, sure, peacekeeping missions, things like that. If you knew that you were going to be doing good, fine. But we live in a time when, the reasons for wars are very questionable, and I think as a society, as a race, we should be moving beyond wars like that. I mean, there are a few backwards countries that still perpetuate this kind of stuff, but I think as on the grand scheme of things, hopefully, it might be naive to say, but war will be a very rare thing in the next few decades, next century maybe.
I think it's going to take longer than that. I don't necessarily think it'll ever go away.
Well, it's the first world is probably not helping that. I mean, the way that the economy is the economies of the first world are keeping down the economies of the third world. I mean, we have to meet in the middle somehow, because so long as there are poor, suffering people, there are going to be war. there's going to be wars, and with we have to, like I said, meet in the middle essentially. Yeah, it's a lot of places are going backwards. Look at India's kind of going forwards now with a lot of legislation to protect women from violence. There have been a lot of problems with Muslims in the UK now, so that it's spilling over into some first world places. It's a hard thing to talk about.
Well, it's a little more complex than what we can get through in an hour.
Really.
And
really
I don't really want to make that what our discussion is about.
And then you've got North Korea way on the fringe, threatening to do nuclear tests in the direction of the U.S.
Well, that's a posturing thing, because that whole situation is fucked. We're not gonna. I don't really want to get into the.
But if you're gonna topple a government, why not that one? Come on.
Yeah, the U.S. seems pretty picky about who has resources they want before they go in and.
Exactly. That's the only reason they haven't toppled North Korea, because there's nothing there but prison camps.
Hey, they make a lot of rice.
Yeah, rice and prison camps. They make a lot of rice. They don't give it to their people.
Yeah, they sell it to other countries.
Yeah, the few that'll
who
buy
also
them.
Can't afford it. So
yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to get into politics so much.
Yeah, politics depress me.
Yeah, it's also, I don't want that to spill into the regular routine of things.
Yeah, really.
So let's move on. Shall we? Yeah, so we've done our why is that a thing. We've put out the challenge to you folks. Give us your best why is that a thing. Fat Apollo's already laid down the gauntlet, because that's a good one. We'll give you until Friday at noon, and we'll select Friday at noon which two people are winning not only 4 packs, but we're gonna a 4-pack of tickets to the Bud Bowl with the Bud Girls and all the prizes and the drinks and the free food and the clearly the Super Bowl.
Who's your pick in the Super Bowl this year? I haven't asked you.
My pick?
Yeah.
I would have to say San Fran.
Yeah.
There's the way that they're built to line up against. They would have had a good game, but probably lost to the Patriots. And I think if it had been a Falcons-Ravens, I think the Ravens would have beat the Falcons, just because of the way they line up.
Yeah.
The matchup is different. But I gotta say, what?
He asked if we saw Les Mis. I personally have not.
I stood up halfway through and yelled, "This isn't Make Me Lay Miserable." Wait, this isn't Make Me Less. His grammar today is confusing me. But that's okay.
But I agree with Fat Apollo. Ravens.
Yeah, no, see, I would prefer to see the Ravens win.
Me too. But you wouldn't put money on them.
You're asking me what my pick is.
Right.
If I'm putting money down, I'm putting it on San Fran.
Agreed. Good thing I don't gamble on football. I don't know. I'm a sucker for an underdog story.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of hype on Ray Lewis, and as I said, he's not exactly the stand-up character everybody seems to think he is. Like, if you Google Ray Lewis's history,
I'm going to have to later.
There is a lot of shady shit in it.
Sounds like something they would make a daytime movie out of.
Yeah, you definitely could. You can bet on the Oscars this year.
I have bet on the Oscars. It didn't end well.
I think he's just trying to take your money. Fat Apollo wants your money. That's the deal.
We're doing an Oscar pool at my office.
See, an Oscar pool I could go for.
See, I couldn't because I don't care.
I hate predicting how the Academy is going to pick things.
Yeah, I mean,
whoa,
you really
ALC.
can't pick what you think will win, because that's not.
Yeah, because you're not making picks based on quality. You're making picks based on.
Yeah, you
what.
Look at past Oscars, see who's won before, and
who
been
needs
nominated
one.
before.
Yeah, see if there's a new
ALC
country.
has an Oscar Pro line.
What? Are you kidding me?
I really hope he's joking and pulling our leg.
That would be sweet.
Oscars on Proline.
He said you can bet on the Oscars this year. I wonder.
But legitimately?
Wow.
Sure.
Gamblers will
I'm
bet on
surprised that
anything.
it hasn't
Nope.
happened before.
Wait, nope, you're not pulling our leg, or nope, it's not a real thing, and you were pulling
I
our
don't know.
leg.
Go look it up. Jesus.
That can't be a real thing. I'm sorry.
I think it is. I would bet that it is.
I think that makes a better "why is that a thing" than
Only in North America. Yes, sir. You said it.
fuck. We're becoming too American in our activities. And
Oh wow, we're almost worse at this point. I was having this discussion with someone else. How Canada's kind of going to the shitter. I mean, it's still a great time to be living it, but again, politics has just been ruining stuff.
Here it is.
Oh, I think Emily's found it. Some details.
Atlantic Canadians will be the first in Canada to legally bet on who will win Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actor honors at the... Oh, it says 2012 Academy Awards. Oh yeah, so this coming Academy Awards. So Atlantic Canadians are the first in Canada to do it.
And only those three categories?
This doesn't say. I haven't actually found the actual betting page, but
Dear Fat Apollo, please stop bringing us doomsday notices. Because that is clearly a sign of the apocalypse.
I don't know, man. I think it's fun as a movie buff. I think it's
Well,
pretty cool.
yeah, but
That, and you can make a much more educated guess than, say, well, maybe not sports, but...
sports, you got two teams. I won the Globe and Mail pool with 22 correct one year.
Wow.
Wow,
That's
how much
solid.
money would that have been? That must have been a bit of a payoff.
I want him on my team.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I'm saying. we should make a trivia team and go somewhere.
There's a reason Fat Apollo's a superhero.
I know so much useless shit.
I hear you.
Just absolutely useless, dumb, like just a
You never
plethora of useless information.
You never know when you're going to end up on Jeopardy. That's why I keep it all.
yes.
It was a trip to the Oscars.
Ah, but it was a tie and he lost a tiebreaker. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Did you at least get a tie?
Like a what?
Like a necktie.
Like a necktie? God.
Consolation
I hate
prize! Because you're going to dress
you.
up.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if there'd be an Oscar on it.
That sucks.
Be a nice tie.
There was no like second prize? That seems not fair.
$100 in movie money? God,
Well,
I could go for that.
That's not bad.
There are a lot of movies in theaters that I've meant to go see but haven't.
Yeah, and if you go alone or don't, use your money on other people.
Yeah, and go on cheap nights. Like,
Oh, I go alone all the
it's like
time. It's the
$6
best.
for a ticket. That's a lot
Yeah.
of movies.
Yeah, you could go on a Tuesday like 10 times in a row. 10 straight weeks of free movies. I'm in.
Just sitting here looking up what's in theaters right now. I missed The Life of Pi, which I'm still kicking myself for.
Damn, me too. I wanted to see it in 3D.
It's so good. Life of Pi was fantastic. Argo, which is
Still haven't
nominated.
seen Argo.
Have you watched Silver Linings Playbook yet?
Yes, I have.
Still haven't seen that.
So good.
It was kind of really slow building, but once you
was?
got there,
Yeah.
like once it got into it, it was good. But Silver Linings Playbook took a long time to get there, and everybody in it was so fucked that I found it was hard to relate because it wasn't like there was one fucked up character dealing with reality or two fucked up characters that were outside of reality. Everybody was fucked.
No, Silver Linings is playing at the Oxford this week. They finally pushed Lincoln out of there for now. I might go check it out in theaters. I just love going to the Oxford little balcony. It's great. So classy.
I remember when it wasn't Empire Theaters run, or well, it was, but it was still run as an independent.
Growing up, we had this old movie theater down the street from my house in Toronto, and it is one of the oldest movie theaters in Canada.
Nice.
And it was originally a vaudeville theater. It's really cool. They restored it and everything, and awesome. Great place to see movies.
Yeah, and I won't be missing the Atlantic Film Festival again this year, that's for sure.
The AFF.
Oh, I went to the opening night party. So much fun. So much free alcohol.
Yeah, oh yeah, the galas are fantastic. And
Yeah.
they have little meet and greets at the one year I went to one at the Garrison Brewery, and they're a lot of fun.
I used to work for the Keys Brewery, and it's run by Labatt, and I used to teach beer school at the ABI and stuff. But one year I went as the Stella rep.
Oh yeah.
And poured beer for people and talked to them about Stella and what it was, and it was the only beer there, and I met a lot of crazy people.
Yep, that's the beauty.
It was really neat.
And we're a lot coming on that front as well. We finally come up with a time frame for the bottom. Hopefully shooting mid to late March.
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. I can't wait to start putting it together.
So, mini series coming from Indie Forge Media and A2 Canada, and what's Bruce's
Value
company?
Play Productions.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's Value Play is taking the lead on that, right?
Yeah.
So, good news coming from local people on that front. Fat Apollo has some big news coming.
So keep an eye on his Twitter feed at RealFatApollo.
Or his Facebook page. I think it's I'm not sure what it is. Facebook.com. It's just, if you search for Fat Apollo local celebrity, you'll find that there.
But all you need is his Twitter. God, it's so entertaining.
Yeah, true. It's pretty good. So follow him. Danny Baldwin at the arcade. Halifax Vintage Arcade.
We'll be down there. Did you make it down for the sharpshooter tournament yesterday?
I did not.
Yeah, neither did I.
I was not leaving my house yesterday for some reason.
I was up at 9 o'clock and at my ninjutsu class for 10.
Oh, right. You're a ninja now. I forgot.
It's not the first time I've taken ninjutsu classes, so I was brushing up.
Yeah. So we're excited because we're going to be giving away those tickets.
Very excited to see what our listeners come up with for Why Is That a Thing?
Yes, we are.
Already some stiff competition.
Yeah. Like I said, Fat Apollo laid down the gauntlet. He laid down the challenge. He put a really good one up there. So we'll see what you guys come up with this week. We have until Friday to find the best Why Is That a Thing segment. Get it on our Facebook page or our Twitter. Tweet it to us. You can find our Facebook page at facebook.com/itsonhalifax. You can find us on Twitter at It's On Halifax. I'm Mark Adam HFX.
And I'm Pat King HFX.
Our controller, Emily, who is always awesome to have in studio because she's a godsend, really.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of weeks without her, and they're not awesome.
It doesn't go well. We end up late.
What do you guys want?
No, we want you to come back next week.
Yes.
That's what we want.
Don't leave us again.
Don't leave us to ourselves. We can't do it.
We're man children. You know this.
Fair.
You know this.
You can tweet her. MJ_979 is her Twitter handle. What else? Before we go, because we're about to sign off here.
I think that's pretty well it. I'm really excited for next week. Hopefully some people will come down and join us at the Oasis, because obviously we're both going to be there.
Yes, most certainly. I will actually be working for the Super Bowl. I'll be bartending, actually.
And I will be drinking what he's giving out.
Yes. Like I said, $10 pitchers of Bud and Bud Light, which is legally the lowest it's allowed to be sold for. What else? The free food, Bud Light girls, Mardi Gras themed, Ravens versus 49ers. For the football fans out there, it's huge.
It's good times.
Yeah, no, there's a whole lot of reasons to be there. So you should get off your butts and go be there.
And this Wednesday evening, if you want to catch me, I'm going to be at Free Play Wednesday at Halifax Vintage Arcade at the Daily Sweets Convenience on Oxford Street, playing all their new games, Lethal Enforcers and Metal Slug.
And how that works is that you pay $5 and it's just all you can play.
Yeah, from between 7 and 9 in the evening. All of the machines are on free play, and you just go right to town.
I think that's an awesome idea, an awesome concept, and
yeah, you should have seen the photo from last week. It was packed. Must have been a dozen people. Danny had to turn people away. It's like, yeah, there's lineups in front of all the machines. I can't accept your money. So yeah.
Fantastic.
And I'm glad to see it. So thanks for listening, everybody. and we hope to see you again soon.
So next week.
This episode of It's on Halifax was brought to you by A2 Canada and Oasis on Spring Garden Road.